Hey there, Kian here. This is a video about my drawing process. First of all, welcome to my room. This is pretty much my ideal workspace. And here's my desk. It's the place where I do all of my most important work, including work on the comic I'm about to show you, Z. Before I begin, I usually start by checking reference on my iPad with what's currently going on in the story of the comic. Then I begin work on the penciling stage, the first stage of comics. The penciling stage includes sketching out rough drafts of what each panel is going to be, and creating the basic poses and panels that the story will take place in. Sometimes the drawing I create in the panel doesn't go along with what I envision for the story, so I have to change it. In some panels, like the panel I'm drawing right now, I end up going for a more stylized approach to fluidly express action on the page and give the story some visual flair. Here's another example of me using reference in my artwork. In this instance, I'm using my iPad to show an image of a police officer from a previous issue that I am also using in this one. Now that we've got our penciling down, let's move on to the inking stage. I start off the inking process by working on the outlines of the panels. Then I move on to the outlines of the characters. I do the outlines in thick Sharpie, and then for smaller details, I move in with a fine liner. Both the smaller and larger details can both be tricky, but in different ways. The smaller details need to be exact, while the larger details are the most permanent and noticeable. Next up comes coloring, and since it's pretty self-explanatory, I figure I'll just let you watch without any narratorial interruptions. And now, after coloring the bank employee, we are done with the drawing stage of this page. And now, it's time to go digital. Scanning the drawing in, and importing it into Clip Studio Paint, I begin work on the digital version. In digital, first I redo the panel borders to make them straighter and more neat. Then I go in and find areas where color overlaps, and fix little mistakes. I do this to ensure the quality and look of the page, even though most of these mistakes aren't things the average person would notice. Some colors get scanned in a little too gray, and I end up having to fix them as well. Then, I start coloring some of the blank panels, the ones that I left open for single color backgrounds. And so with all of that done, it's time to start working on the dialogue. Sometimes I mess up and I make the words too big for the speech bubble, so I end up having to rearrange them. Additionally, what I decide to do in the dialogue sometimes changes what I want the panel to express, so I have to edit it slightly. And with that, our page is finished. That's a wrap. What did you think of my drawing process? Was it interesting? Thanks for watching, and bye.